Mr. Eizaz a very warm welcome as he presents his talk entitled From the Ground Up.
Good morning, everybody. Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera. Thank you for having me here. Before I begin, let me say it is an honor to be on the same seat with all these people. All of you guys, don't take this lightly, you know. It's very hard to get the caliber of people right now sitting in front of you. Please appreciate their speeches, take down notes. I mean, these guys are full of information. This one I can campak buang already. Not relevant anymore. So, good job for Segi and Moon and Mr. Clifford and the speakers. I think they all deserve a big round of applause. Let's hear it up for them, actually. All right. So anyway, my name is Eizaz. I am a entrepreneur. I'm a businessman. Okay. The topic that I'm going to talk about today is from the ground up. Now, a bit about myself. These are some news stories that have featured me once in a while. I've been on Focus Malaysia. I've been featured in the New Straits Times, Business Times. I've been in the Star. Now there's something called School Times. And yeah, this is basically my page on Focus, actually. So, I'm an entrepreneur. I am also a university dropout. I left my engineering degree halfway to operate a recording studio. In fact, it wasn't even a recording studio, it was a rehearsal studio. If you came to my rehearsal studio maybe in 2006, the first thing that's going to come to mind, budak ni mesti jual dada ni. Jual dada ni mesti tempat maksiat. Ini mesti kena raid dengan polis. It was that bad, actually. Because when I began my business, my partner and I, we started with a capital of 4,000 ringgit, which is basically nothing now in today's world. We wired our own lights, we put together our own doors, and we didn't have any cash to look for furniture. So what we would do in the middle of the night, kita orang pergi dekat Jangyat, the sampah sarap sana, we steal whatever furniture we could use, we repainted them and brought them back into the studio. And some of the furniture is still around until now, in fact. And that's where I come from. I learned everything the hard way. I came from the University of Hard Knocks, so to speak. This is my shop now. And these are the board of directors. Three of us began this back in 2006. And we are now one of the largest music showrooms, music schools in the country. In fact, I think we're probably one of the top 10 as far as size is concerned. And this is a bit of my recording studio. This is my office, actually. I've got drums, keyboards, and stuff like that. And this is another view of my studio. It all didn't begin this way. It all came from scratch, in fact. Back about 2007, chances are you would see me looking like this. This is what I've been doing since 2006. I didn't have any staff. I had to pull this trolley all on my own. I've gone down to the ground. I've gone political campaigning. I've put up flags, all sorts of stuff. All of this experience. I've carried boxes. Unfortunately, these are the only photos I could find from back then. We didn't have a camera. And these are my stuff. So I went to the ground. I did the work because as a businessman, I'm here to talk about business, a bit about business. No job is above or below you. You must be able to handle everything. There is nothing wrong with, say, picking up the trash, carrying a box. You should be able to talk to CEOs, you should be able to talk to ministers, and you should be able to talk to the guy on the street. You should be able to talk to your staff, how to carry this, how to do the grunt work. And that's where you learn, and that's a very, very important part of the business. Because then you know how it's like. Then you can form an SOP, a standard operating procedure, and you can maximize the efficiency of your work and so on and so forth. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I have to refer to my notes here. Building the business from the ground up, it wasn't an easy thing. We had to go through many struggles. There were a lot of times where we thought we would just, give up, close shop. I left a degree to do this. I'm not sure anybody else would do that, or I also don't recommend it to you even. But if you know what you want and you know what you're doing, your goal is just up to how much sacrifices you make along the way. That's it. You have a goal, and what you're willing to give up to get it. In my case, it was my degree. In my case, it was everything, my education, in fact. And so far, it's worked out well for me. But I sacrificed a lot along the way, and basically, it was all a mess. So anyway, I'm going to talk a bit about jobs, a low-level job, for example. Let's say if I were to lose everything right now, I lost my business, I lost my car, I lost my home. When I was 5 years old, my dad always told me, Eizaz, if mom and dad die tomorrow, cross fingers, it's not a curse. If everything disappears out of you overnight, I want you to go and find whatever job you can find. If it's an honest living and there is no harm, it's something to be proud of actually. You're not stealing from anyone. You're making an honest living. There's pride there. From there onwards, move up to management. Find a way to build an SOP, a standard operating procedure. You see, it's in the mindset of how you experience the thing, of how you come up with ideas, new ideas to manage. After that, if I were still in that job, I would actually get myself an education. May not be a formal one, but I could always go to the library. I could write books on economics. I would read books on marketing. I would read books on business strategies. And it's all free. Education is all free out there. It doesn't have to be in a piece of paper. It's all up here. And you apply it through here. And that's actually very, very important. So you see, even starting out from nowhere, anyone can do it. It's not restricted to any individual. Business. Business is one of the few things in the world that transcends religion. It transcends gender, it transcends race, it transcends who you are, it transcends who your parents are. Every businessman goes through the same challenges. Even these guys here. I'm sure these guys have slept in the office before, right? I mean, they sacrifice the night time. So, regardless of who you are, the principles of business always remain the same. We all go through the same challenges. It may be on a different level, but it's still the same thing. It's a very, very good leveler for anyone, in fact. And it's also a very, very humbling experience for anyone. So throughout the course of my tenure of business, I've met a lot of people. I've had a chance to talk to Dr. Mahathir. I've had a chance to jam with Tun Siti Hasmah. I've met Mukris Mahathir. I've met Datuk Sri Shabri Jik. I've met all sorts of people. I've even given a presentation to Vincent Tan, you know. Imagine this guys, this dropout from don't know where, started a studio, Jalan Belakang Mati somewhere, gives a presentation to Vincent Tan about his own company, U-Mobile. And this was done last month. And this is one of my heroes actually. This is Tan Sri Clement He. If anybody's on Facebook, please subscribe to his Facebook page. Now this guy has a lot of inspirational quotes. He's a great motivator. You will see his posts from time to time and you will learn so many things from this guy. Seriously, education, like I said, is all out there. It's just up to you whether you want to approach it, whether you want to outreach to all this information. It's all there for you. For example, let's take Clement here. This guy also started from zero, am I right, Clifford? He built his way up all the way. And it was because of his sheer determination and mindset that made him where he is right now. And if you want to start in business actually, the first thing is you must sort of know what you're doing, or at least know what you're getting into and know what the sacrifices are to be made. Business is not a very complicated thing. It's actually very simple. But simple doesn't equate easy. Simple and easy are very different things, yeah? It's about the consistency that you put into the business. You see, the consistency of your products, the consistency of your stock, the consistency of your manpower available in the company, the consistency of your operating hours, the consistency of your marketing. It's all about staying strong from one period to another. And there will be times where you go down. And if you can stay strong and consistent throughout all that, I believe someday you'll succeed. And you'll be like him, in fact, one day. You agree? This is some of the things that I've managed to do after I began my business. I now have time to enjoy riding my motorcycle, something that would have been out of my reach about, say, 4 years ago. This would have been an impossible dream for me. I got things for my Muay Thai. Oh, okay. Never mind, that's the end of the... Let's leave the bike on, looks cooler. So, Consistency in everything you do, even in your studies. If you're consistent with your books, if you're consistently learning the materials, if you're consistent with your attitude, then you will see results. It's not a one-shot process where you rise straight to the top in anything you do. You got to stay focused. And staying focused is so very, very important actually. And also, don't underestimate the power of PR, public relations. How I managed to get all these contacts together, I managed to talk to all these wonderful people. In fact, the reason I'm here is because of PR. Don't be afraid to sell yourself. Don't undersell yourself also. Well, don't oversell yourself and cannot deliver, but that's another thing. I mean, if you don't promote yourself, if you don't market yourself, who will? No one is going to do it for you. It's up to you. You got to get out there. You have to put in the hours. You got to drive the miles. And everything is out there for you, in fact. I've intentionally left my talk a bit short to open for a question and answer session. Do I have anyone who wants to ask me anything? My source of inspiration, there are multiple people who inspire me, but I am especially inspired by those who start from zero, from those who work their way up, like Tan Sri Clement, what's his name again? Tan Sri Vincent Tan, who built his fortune from zero. And it doesn't even have to be a businessman, just someone who has the right attitude and the right determination. Once again, it's all irregardless of race. Some people say, oh, kamu Cina, biasa buat bisnes. Kamu Melayu, mesti kamu boleh dapat Bumi Putra punya kontrak. Bohong semua tu. It's all a big sham. It's all up to how much you work. It's all up to how many hours you put into your business and how much you believe in yourself. Someone once asked me, Eizaz, how do you sell 1,000 guitars? Because I own a guitar store, I've got maybe 1,000 guitars in the store. How do you sell 1,000 guitars? The answer is actually very simple. First, you got to buy 1,000 guitars. It goes deeper than that, you know. It's a very simple response. But when you buy your guitars, you believe in your product. You believe in what you're selling. You believe that it has value. You believe that it can make a difference, and you believe in its quality. So you dare to commit to your product. So before you can sell something, you got to buy it first. It could be anything. It could be an idea. It could be a car. It could be a business proposal. But if you don't buy it and you're not convinced, then there's no way you can sell it. And everybody out here right now, everyone is a salesman. People sort of look in sales, what do you do? I'm a salesman. Yeah, a salesman. I would never want to be a salesman, to sell something to someone. But you know what? That guy just sold me something. He sold me the idea that he doesn't want to sell something. You get it? When you're on stage, when you're somewhere, when you want to make, it doesn't even have to be a pitch. You can sell an idea. Politicians do this all the time. They sell ideas, they sell policies. I'm selling the idea that everyone's a salesman. And if you've bought it, then I've closed my sale. Right? So everyone has to do some selling at one point or another. And I guess who really inspires me are the top salesmen of the world. Datuk Mukris Mahathir, who is now CM of Kedah. I actually gate crashed his function, you know that? He was having a function, an UMNO function somewhere, and I walked in with a saxophone. I said, "Sir, can I dedicate a song to you?" He said, "Yes, why not? Come up, do it." And I played a song for him, and we became friends afterwards. So, you see, you gotta be muka tebal, thick-faced, thick-skinned, and the first couple of attempts that you want to sell something, an idea, you want to sell your proposal, or you want to make a contact with someone, you are going to get rejected. Rejection happens all the time. Every time. Don't get down by rejection. If you apply for a scholarship, you get rejected. You apply to university, you get rejected. Everyone gets rejected all the time, and honestly, it's no big deal. You just have to be courageous enough. You got to believe in yourself enough, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. One of the reasons why I established Guitar Empire so early back is because I came to the conclusion that if I started now, I can actually go bankrupt 2 or 3 times before I hit 30. And that's a good thing. You don't want to be bankrupt when you hit 30. I've seen it happen to people. It's not a pretty sight. If you want to make the mistakes, make all the mistakes now while you're still young, and you can still learn, and you still have energy to go forward. Go out, make mistakes, do stupid things actually. And sometimes it works, you know. Someone once told me, smart thinks, stupid does. So in that case, I'm probably really, really dumb actually. And like I said, we've come a long way. It's been a great experience. I'm actually humbled by the presence we have in this room today. I would like to end my short talk. Once again, business knows no boundaries. Anyone can be a businessman. Anyone with the right attitude, anyone with the right mindset, anyone with the right heart, anyone with the right knowledge. When I say knowledge, it's not formal knowledge, It's knowledge that you build up, knowledge that you have learned throughout your, it doesn't even have to be university life, throughout your working life even. Knowledge alone is not power. Knowledge is a very important part of power, correct? But what is true power? It's applied knowledge. If you have knowledge and you can't apply it, then it makes no difference, does it? Applied knowledge is true power, and you can get it from anywhere in the world if you're willing to humble yourself sometimes. Life is very funny, in the sense that sometimes the smallest things actually control make the biggest decisions. For example, like staying consistent. I mean, it's such a simple thing, right? Staying consistent. Just sitting in the shop, calling your customers, doing marketing consistently. It's such a simple thing, but it determines every factor of your business. If you're not consistent, then you won't get consistent returns. That's simply it, actually. And, okay, I've got 1 minute left. So, once again, you can build a business. I can build a business. Anyone can build a business. Stay consistent. Stay strong. Stay focused. Believe in yourself. Believe in the product that you're selling. And do a damn good salesman job. That's it, everybody. Thank you very much.
Mr. Eizaz Azhar. From all of us here today, I would like to say thank you again to all the honorable speakers for taking their time out of their busy schedule. Your talks have greatly inspired the young hearts.